I am Naga. The artwork on this image is done by me, George Terrell, artist. The previous artwork, two designs on my previous uploads were also done by me. They are NTFs. They are NTFs. They are placed somewhere so you can find them. You can support them. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you are interested in what I'm talking about. I'd love to hear your points of view. If you're needing advertisement, all information will be in the description if you want to contact me for that. Currently, right now, you'll just be able to contact my email, and I will get back with you with information, information regarding that if you want promotion. And also, I do consultations. And if you would just like to share or give some love, there's also a link in there for that as well. All right. The light points. Matter is not atoms. Atoms are not matter. As much as we would like to believe that here is everything. No, this is where things collide and create. When the light points hit the earth, they coalesce into physical matter. Atoms at that point are not physical. Things are different somewhere else. People like to say, well, this came from here. Well, look, you gotta understand something. Before it's crashed to whatever plane of existence it's on, it was light. And the way we understand light is only in the stage of matter. So we see light coming at us, and we start to see it as tangible. We start to make it tangible because it does things like illuminate, warm you, stuff of that nature. Before it even gets to that point, it's different. Light has spectrums. And I'm not telling you anything that people do not know, but understanding it is completely different. There is light that shines way brighter than the light that we are able to comprehend or observe. Those are higher frequencies of light. There are higher frequencies that we can actually tap into, and there are higher frequencies that you will never be able to do shit with. Period. It's just that simple. See, when you become matter, you birth the ego. Ego is a god itself. Ego is a god of this realm. It had to feel in order to be here. The first one that was coalesced from light. And then you have to stand and walk and feel every single feeling that's implemented into being coalesced here. I can imagine that had to be like insane. There's like a billion thoughts like all at once, and you're the only one who can have that thought like that. Those thoughts, that would be like crazy. So just to start that purpose, just to send it back in reverse. Everybody wants to say right and wrong, right and wrong, right and wrong. The humanity, and you know what, Bobby Hemmings said it too, and I'm in agreement, but I have particular feelings towards it. If you never felt anything, right, and then you had to particularly deal with shit that you never dealt with, lesser to the value of, and see, you have, and before I even go into that, let me get an understanding across first. Most folks tend to believe that knowing only falls under certain jurisdictions. Well, to sustain this process, it had to have a start, and that start probably was chaotic because of the entry of the circumstance. If you're taking a test, you're going to scratch your head if you didn't study, and it's going to aggravate you. But for the most part, if I leave somewhere, once I was for eternity, mind you, I was there for eternity, like always. I was always there. I was within the first creations. I was always there in energy. I know that. I don't just know that, I am that. So when I come to a new plane of existence and I, so to speak, change or merge into something else, because it's an impact. When the light travels and hits, boom. Out of that hit, that combination of unstoppable object, unmovable force, unstoppable object combination, boom. When they hit, it coalesced into matter. That's when atoms had the name matter. That's when they put a jacket on. It was like, oh, that's an atom, because you can see it. And it makes physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the base of physical stuff, carbons and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the reaction of light hitting the plane of existence. So the reaction of light hitting the plane of existence is what created the God ego. So now, while all these things are taking place, they are simultaneously creating what they are in the same breath and being itself at the same time. Never being it, never being that, or being able to understand what that is. You're doing it all in one motion as you coalesce from light. That had to make all types of thoughts and feelings come out, like, this is wrong. This is bad. I used to do this. I could have soared through the universe. I'm just saying, like, if I was to imagine, I could soar through the universe. I'm a light. I can do whatever. I'm celestial. Like, you're physical. Now you have to move your legs and arms, and you have to have a contract with your elbows and your joints and your fingers and your eyeballs, and you have to understand breathing, and you have to make a flow. Like, you have to put things in you tangible to make you better here as matter. So I can imagine the very first smash of light had to be falling apart as it was moving. It didn't know what to do. It never did it before. So boom, it hit. It came together as some form of a body and fell apart. It got right back up and fell apart again. It got back up and fell apart again. But every time it got up, it was forming itself. It was forming itself every time. And it happened like this over eons. Over eons. And it just kept happening and kept happening until the formulation of life was complete. The formulation of how it would be under a light is complete. Had to separate the divine, the divine spark of his life and place it above him so he can see what he was doing. Separated the spirit from the body and give a tangible light for everybody. So now you have something to look towards while you're in your physical, but the ego took over the physical. You see what I'm saying? So it was at one point where it was just running amok. Motherfuckers ain't give a shit. That's where all that shit came from. You know what I'm saying? It was the first separation. That's divine. Being able to grow your light bright enough to give it to God, everything that's going to come into matter. That's why they get the stories and they be like, yo, the sacrifice and all that. You don't understand that shit yet. And it was no man in existence that was physically tangible, able to look at this and write it down when these things was coming down. It was no one around. One energy that's literally doing a snowball effect. It's like it hit, boom, and it's rolling and it's picking up. And as it picks up, it's falling apart. It's picking up and it's falling apart. It's picking up and it's falling apart. It doesn't have none of the contracts that we have within our body between our joints, the fingers, the wrists, the knees. It didn't have toes. It didn't have no contracts to hold or to even know what a bone was. or to know what the intricacy of nerve systems and the textile of how the fingernails would be, or the dexterity of the muscles and the joints and all this. Like, none of that was known. That had to be learned. Your body is a machine that was learned through existence. Don't let nobody tell you all these fuck ass stories, because they don't know what they be talking about. When that light hit here, scientifically, and it never been in that space before, it had to roll into existence. It had to become existence. Everything that we speak, we take it so for granted. We say words like, "Oh yeah, they was this," and you sound stupid, and that don't even make no sense. Even if everything that we think we know, right, has some form of value to celestial understanding, they would never have a conversation about that. It's not like, "Hey, I'm about to go down here and be like that." No, it didn't work like that. Life had to roll over. It had to constantly build. It had to constantly build. So it was a destruction first. This was a time that cannot ever be recorded. Tap in. Tap in. Yeah, light is not, atoms are not matter. Atoms are not matter. They're baby universes that learn like everything else. And they absorb energy. Energy, light has information on it. So every time you do something, it learns from it. Just like germs. They learn from every time mold. All day, it learns. It learns. Every time you attack it, it learns to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? That's everything in existence. So there's not such thing as good and bad. It's everything is growing to its value. At one point, whatever you're trying to obtain is not going to serve you, because it's probably not at its value yet. And then eventually it'll get to its value and it can serve you. But we move so fast through time, we don't have enough patience. We're not being as stable as light, or still as light. Moving around. Can't get stable. I ain't gonna hold y'all, yo. I just want to build with you real quick. Yeah, once again, like I said before, the artwork in this, I created. It's mine. If you're interested in things I do, holla at me. I do graphic designs and all that. Like I said, I do advertisement. Still trying to get my subscribers up. So help me out, guys. I need to get my subscribers up. I wanted to do like a giveaway, maybe to help my subscribers get up, but I don't have too many people be watching yet. So please comment, like, subscribe, share my videos if you're interested in what I'm saying. If you think there are like minds on this understanding. You already know the vibe, so NAGA.